Thank you. It was firstly a question to Harry Buzz. You mentioned earlier on that you have evidence that the extent of people being turned away is greater than is in the official statistics. I'd be interested if you could sort of share what you think the actual number is. And then it was to Mr. Borley about just the degree to which personalisation takes place, and how much of that is a problem, because we are hearing other people express doubts about the use of ID, and is this robust enough? So I wondered, to what extent is this a real issue?
Yes, so on the data that we've collected, obviously we will always have two observers inside polling stations observing together, and because they have more time to sort of see if people come in, see a sign, turn around, go out, if somebody's stopped by a teller, if somebody's stopped by an extra member of staff who might be directing people to the polling desk, we see a number of people who are turned away from voting initially. We don't collect data on whether those people come back in the same way that the Electoral Commission do. At the general election in 2024, we saw that 1.37% of all voters were initially turned away, and that compares to the Electoral Commission's data of 0.25%. We believe that is the main reason, is that we're seeing other voters who don't get to the actual presiding officer's desk, because the way that the data was collected was from the ballot paper refusal list that the presiding officer has to sit down and sign when a voter has that situation.
I mean, that is significant. There are a lot of seats won or lost by smaller margins than that at the election. And then, if you wouldn't mind sort of saying, just in your experience, how big of a problem is that form of voter fraud, people pretending to be somebody that they're not?
At polling stations, very little. And historically it has been very little. If you look back over the election cases, very few successful challenges to arising out of personation at polling booths. It's not a noticeable problem. The problem of personation is with postal voting, because that's where it can be done on a level which will affect the result of the election. And unless you can guarantee you've got a knife edge, 3 votes either way is going to ensure that X is elected as counts, which none of us can guarantee. Unless you've got that, telling people to risk in effect, their freedom by going along and casting one vote, it's penny packet stuff. You wouldn't bother. If you wanted to rig an election, don't go down that route.
I mean, what I'm hearing both his answers then is very little impact from personation, very high impact from people not being able to vote who want to be. Thank you.
That's a different problem. People being turned away is a different problem. It doesn't involve an electoral offence, but it's nonetheless serious. Yes.